feel, I mean, free sounds cliche. I do feel free. I feel in control and powerful and beautiful. And I feel aware of the energy in my hands and my feet. I feel everything. Sometimes when I'm like sitting somewhere waiting for my act, I'll look up and I like wonder, I wonder if that's been checked. I have fallen a few times. I used to have a teacher that said you can only fall once, and that's not true. There's several ways you can fall, and there's always a lesson to be learned. NOMA was inspired by events. That's what sort of catalyzed the writing process or the creation of it. I really wanted to touch, not talk, but touch on this, this feeling that I would feel every time I would hang up the phone with my father, because he's living alone and he has like a lot of physical problems, and it seems inescapable and inevitable. It just seems futile, and I wanted to make a story about that because I couldn't figure out another way to deal with it. Because I couldn't help him, and it was so frustrating, this like thing that I could feel and see inside of him, and I'm sure that he could feel it too, but and I realized that it's not just, it doesn't have to be just cancer, it can be whatever. It can be, you know, your eating disorder from high school, or smoking cigarettes, or anything. Like it could be self-induced, or it could be out of your control, but either way it's out of control and it's consuming you. Okay, so really focus on your lower abs to get it out of your hip flexors. Keep thinking about tucking your hips under, ribs in. You're making a really curved thing happen. Biceps by your ears, straighten your legs, feet to the sky. Back down to your knees. Okay, well, I guess we'll be not doing as many abs. I didn't want it to be about cancer. I didn't want it to be about anything other than light and dark. This black dot is Nava. Here's our center point. Everybody else is around Amoeba Town. She turns around and we're all dispersing. And then there's going to be an imaginary box around you. That way you have corners that you can run and stand on, and you have angles where you can turn and try to catch people. NOMA is the first incarnation of what has been in my mind for a long time. So it starts out with a little girl who has a love of painting and colors, and her world is existent on her canvas as well as it's sort of ambiguous. You don't really know if it's in her mind or if she's actually living in this world of color, or you know, what causes what affects what. Well, sometimes I'm still surprised that people listen to me, especially for this show, because it wasn't a story that people had grown up with, because it was something that I had to, you know, bring everyone to my level with. It was a little harder, but also more rewarding to like hear and feel the support from my team, and that they still believed in my vision. I decided to do the show because I had that support. I decided to write the show because of those events, but there were a lot of moments where I was not going to do it. I didn't think that I could. I didn't think that it was the right time. Like, it was too soon. Can you make it a little less to start?
A little less.
Right.
Right? Okay.
It's basically there's sections. They start from the ground, then they have like a middle position, and then they're standing. And then they all are facing backwards in this clump, and they come forward and do this thing that Gabby's doing. Thank you for doing that. So I think
that's less bright.
I like that. So then rise the lights to that, what's here now.
It looks good.
This looks good.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. I know it's gonna be good. I know that. That's all you really need to know. I'm just tired of being told not to worry. Yeah. When I create characters, I create them with a piece of the person in them too, and I don't think I could have found people to fill in those roles. My process is forming it around a person. We're performing tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, this is it. This was the last of this run. Probably not the last ever. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for sharing this stage with me. It's been such an honor and a pleasure to work with each and every one of you. I'm so proud and so humbled, and I just can only say thank you. So let's kill out there tonight. The very first time somebody asked, like, what's the driving force of this piece, I said that the visualization of it is exactly what it is. When we're together, everything is honed in. I started everyone out in an amoeba sort of clump that started to move, and we all breathed together, and you could feel the energy in this pod that we created. And the whole process of making this show happen, something that was so personal to me and so soul-bearing to the world, it was hard. I had to get over my fear of sharing my voice, and I had to get over my fear of what I am capable of.